I was sitting on the couch when I saw my fiancée laughing and chatting with her friends on her phone. It seemed like a normal day, but something didn't feel right. I noticed she was hiding her screen from me and smiling too much. My heart started to race because I had heard whispers about her, but I tried to push those thoughts away. It was just silly gossip, I told myself. But then, one day, I found a social media post that changed everything. It was a picture of her with another guy, looking way too happy together. I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. With proof in my hands, I made my way to her engagement party, where everyone was laughing and celebrating. But it all felt wrong to me. The engagement party was buzzing with excitement, but I felt like a ghost among all the laughter. Emily, my fiancée, looked gorgeous, yet my stomach twisted in knots. Whispers floated around, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. "Can you believe they're getting married?" I overheard someone say, and I clenched my fists. Emily laughed with her friends, her smile bright but somehow off, like it didn't reach her eyes. It felt fake. How could she seem so happy when I was drowning in doubt? "Hey, are you okay?" Jake, my buddy, asked as he joined me. I forced a smile, but my heart was racing. "Yeah, just enjoying the party," I lied. Inside, I was screaming. Each laugh from Emily felt like a dagger, reminding me of the rumors I'd heard, messages that pointed to her betrayal. "Look, I need to talk to her," I said, my voice trembling with urgency. "Now." Jake nodded, sensing the tension. We made our way through the crowd, and I spotted Emily at the snack table, chatting with her sister. "Emily," I called, trying to keep my voice steady. She turned, and the smile faded slightly. "Hey, what's up?" she asked, her tone casual. But I could see the flicker of worry in her eyes. "Can we talk? Like now?" I pressed, my heart pounding. I didn't want to ruin the party, but I couldn't hold it in any longer. "Sure, what's wrong?" she asked, glancing back at her sister, who raised an eyebrow. "Just over here," I said, pulling her away from the crowd. Once we were alone, I faced her. "I know about the messages, Emily." Her expression shifted, the playful mask slipping. "What messages?" she stammered, a blush creeping up her cheeks. "Don't play dumb," I snapped. "I saw the texts. You can't keep pretending everything is fine." I can explain," she stuttered, backing away slightly. "Explain what?" I challenged, my voice sharp. "How you've been lying to me. How can you act all happy when you've been betraying me?" The tension hung heavy in the air. I felt exposed and raw, ready to explode. Emily opened her mouth to respond, but I couldn't wait. "This party is supposed to be about love, but it feels like a trap." "I didn't mean to hurt you," she pleaded, her voice cracking. "Then stop lying," I shot back, my heart racing. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. I was caught between the joy of the celebration and the pain of her betrayal. "Please, let's just enjoy the night," she whispered. But I could see the fear in her eyes. "No!" I shouted, my frustration spilling over. "I need the truth, or I'm done." A few days before the engagement party, I was scrolling through my phone when I saw a post that sent a chill down my spine. It was a picture of Emily, cozy and laughing with another guy. My heart raced. I quickly read the comments. People were whispering about betrayal, and it hit me hard. They were saying Emily was seeing someone else behind my back. I felt sick. How could she do this to me? I'd trusted her completely. Each comment felt like a knife in my chest. Why would she risk everything we'd for some guy? My mind was racing. Was it all a lie? Had I missed the signs? I felt a storm brewing inside me. Anger mixed with fear. What if the rumors were true? What if I talked to her and she just denied it? The thought twisted my heart. I'd to know the truth before confronting her. I couldn't let these nasty rumors tear us apart. The engagement party was just around the corner, and I needed proof. I'd to protect myself from the betrayal that threatened to shatter everything I believed we shared. I paced my room, thinking hard. I need to find out what's sweet words. My heart raced as I fought against the mix of anger and sadness swirling inside me. How could someone I cared for so deeply betray me like this? It felt like a dark cloud hanging over me, and I was desperate to break free. Yet, in the midst of this mess, I discovered something I didn't know I had: strength. I realized that even though the pain was there, I could learn from this. I'm not going to let this define me, I told myself. I was determined to rise above it. Maybe I'll never trust you again, I said, my voice steady. Emily's silence spoke volumes. I knew this was just one chapter in my life, not the end. I'll find a way to heal, I promised myself, taking a deep breath. It wouldn't be easy, but I wouldn't let her lies break me. I was ready to face the future, stronger and wiser. No more fairy tales for me, just the truth, no matter how hard it was. Moving forward was scary. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, peering into the unknown. But I knew holding on to the past would only keep me stuck. Emily's betrayal hit me hard, but I refused to let it break me. I defined myself again. Every day was a battle. Some days, sadness crashed over me like a tidal wave. Other days, anger burned inside. But I discovered a flicker of strength I didn't know I had. I'd to keep pushing. I turned to things I loved. I laced up my hiking boots and hit the trails. The fresh air filled my lungs as I climbed higher, leaving my worries behind. I picked up my guitar, letting the music spill out, pouring my feelings into every chord. And I texted friends I hadn't spoken to in ages. "Hey, I could really use some company," I typed. They replied quickly, reminding me I wasn't alone in this mess. Facing reality was tough. It felt like walking through a thick fog, unsure of where I was headed. But I pushed through the darkness. I learned that healing takes time, and it's okay to feel hurt. Each day, I practiced being kind to myself. I allowed myself to cry for what I lost. As I moved forward, I discovered my own strength. I started to enjoy my own company. I began to believe that brighter days were ahead. I never wanted to feel the sting of betrayal, but it hit me hard. My heart felt like a rock in my chest. But this pain opened my eyes wide. I learned that trusting someone is a choice. When that trust gets crushed, it hurts more than just the relationship. It shakes who you are. I discovered how important my own boundaries are. I won't let anyone twist my feelings or my reality again. This heartache pushed me to take care of myself first. I realized I deserve respect and honesty. I won't settle for anything less. Rebuilding trust? It's a tough climb. After being hurt, letting someone new in feels scary. I learned it's okay to take my time. Each step I take is about healing, not rushing into love again. Love should feel safe, not like a dangerous game. And guess what? Being vulnerable isn't weak. I opened up to my friends about my pain. They were my rocks when I felt lost. They reminded me that I'm not alone in this. In the end, this experience showed me that love can be beautiful, but it needs honesty and trust. I'm stronger now, and I won't let fear control my life. I'll welcome love when it's real and guard myself against betrayal. Really going on, I muttered to myself. I grabbed my phone again, searching for clues. Heartbreak hit me like a punch as I stood outside the party, watching everyone have fun while I felt like my world was crumbling. I couldn't believe the whispers. I'd heard about Emily. How could she betray me like this? It felt like drowning. I couldn't breathe. I watched her laughing with friends, completely clueless about the storm inside me. Anger bubbled up, mixing with sadness. My heart felt heavy, but I knew I couldn't run away. I'd to confront her. I needed answers. "Did you even care about me?" I wanted to shout. I thought we were building a future together, but now I questioned everything. All those sweet moments felt tainted by doubt. I wanted to shake her, to make her see how much she hurt me. But I took a deep breath. I couldn't let her see me break. I'd to stay strong. I needed to show her the pain she caused, to confront her lies head on. No more hiding. I'd to reclaim my dignity. I pushed through the crowd, each step heavy with determination. I spotted her again, and I marched straight over. "Emily, we need to talk," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She turned, surprise flashing across her face. "What's wrong?" Don't play dumb. I heard the rumors. Why would you do this to me? I paced back and forth, my heart racing. I'd to find proof to confront Emily. It felt like I was trapped in a nightmare where trust had vanished. Rumors about her were swirling in my mind, heavy and suffocating. I needed evidence, something real to show her. Gathering proof was my only goal. I grabbed her phone, my hands trembling. I searched through her messages, hoping to find something that would confirm my worst fears. Each message I read felt like a punch to the gut. Betrayal, anger, confusion. It all hit me hard. How could someone I loved do this to me? My emotions were all over the place, but I couldn't let go. I saved screenshots, determined to piece together the truth. Every message I opened filled me with dread, but I knew I'd to keep going. I couldn't be blind anymore. I had to face the ugly reality. I wanted to believe in love, but how could I trust someone who might be lying to me? As I connected the dots, I realized this was more than just finding proof. I needed to take back my power. I'd to confront her, to expose the lies. No more emotional games. I was ready for whatever came next. All I needed was undeniable proof. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number lit up the screen. I know what Emily did. My heart raced. This was it. I was one step closer to the truth. Confronting Emily felt like standing on the edge of a tall cliff, ready to jump into a dark abyss. My heart raced, and my stomach twisted as I thought about what I'd say. Would I stay calm? Would I cry? I needed to be strong, but it seemed impossible. The weight of the truth felt heavy on my chest. As I walked toward her, doubts flooded my mind. What if she denied everything? What if she laughed? At me? I felt foolish, but I'd to stop her from playing games with my heart. I'd proof. Messages that showed she was cheating. Still, the fear of facing her gnawed at me. What if the person I loved wasn't the person I thought she was? I took a deep breath and gathered my strength. Each step felt like climbing a mountain. I wanted to shout the truth, but I feared how it would change everything. I pictured her reaction. Maybe she'd get angry, maybe she'd feel guilty, or maybe she wouldn't care at all. How could I deal with that? Around us, people laughed and celebrated, but I felt completely alone. I couldn't let my feelings of betrayal stop me. This was my chance to speak up. The fear wrapped around me like a tight rope, but I knew I'd to confront her. It was time to jump from that cliff and face whatever lay below. "Emily!" I finally called out, my voice cutting through the noise. She turned, and surprise flashed in her eyes. "What do you want?" she asked, a hint of annoyance in her tone. "I know what you've been doing!" I shouted, holding up my phone. "You think I wouldn't find out?" Her smile faded. "What are you talking about? Don't play innocent. I've the messages. You lied to me." My heart pounded as I thrust the phone toward her. Emily's eyes darted around, searching for a way out. "Okay, maybe I messed up a little, but it's not what you think." "Not what I think? You cheated on me." I could feel anger boiling inside me, and I wouldn't back down. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "You don't understand. I did it for us. I wanted more." "More? You wanted more lies?" I shot back, my voice echoing in the air. "You wanted to ruin us?" In that moment, I realized the truth. She wasn't the person I loved. The betrayal cut deep, but I was ready to break free. I took a step back, my heart racing, but my resolve solid. I wouldn't let her manipulate me anymore. "I deserve better than this," I said, my voice steady. "It's over, Emily." Emily sparkled under the party lights, her dress shining like 1,000 stars. She was the center of attention, and everyone wanted to be near her. I watched as she laughed and danced, her smile lighting up the room. But deep down, I felt something was off. I knew her too well. Her smile wasn't as bright as it seemed. As I stood there feeling invisible, anger bubbled inside me. How could she look so perfect while I felt like a shadow? It wasn't fair. I was stuck in a whirlwind of emotions, watching her effortlessly charm everyone. Was she pretending to be happy, or was she really blind to the hurt she'd caused me? Each laugh sounded like a knife cutting through my heart. I wanted to scream, to tell her how betrayed I felt, but the words stuck in my throat. She danced with friends, completely unaware of my turmoil. The rumors and whispers haunted me. It didn't match the Emily I saw before me. Suddenly, I realized Emily's beauty was both a blessing and a curse. I was caught between love and pain, knowing I'd to uncover the truth, even if it shattered everything. I took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Emily!" I shouted, startling her. The laughter faded, and eyes turned to me. "What's wrong?" she asked, feigning innocence. "You don't get it, do you?" I said, my voice trembling. "Everything's not perfect like you pretend. What about the lies, the secrets?" Her smile faltered, and for a split second, I saw the real Emily, the one hiding behind the glimmer. I didn't mean to hurt you," she stammered. "Then why do it?" I demanded. "You're playing with hearts like they're toys." The room buzzed with tension. Friends whispered, watching us. Emily's facade was cracking, and I could feel the weight of the truth hanging in the air. "I'm not perfect," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I didn't mean to hurt you. Maybe it's time to stop pretending," I shot back. "Let's face the truth together." The room buzzed with laughter, but I felt like I was stuck in quicksand. There was Ryan, leaning against the wall with that smug grin of his. My heart raced. I'd always felt uneasy around him, but now it was worse. I couldn't shake the idea that he was the one spreading rumors about me, twisting things to make me look bad. I glanced around, but it felt like Ryan's eyes were glued to me, waiting for me to break. Anger bubbled inside me. I remembered all. Those moments when he and Emily laughed together, the way he looked at her. It made my blood boil. Did he know about the messages? Did he see how badly I was hurting? I stood there feeling like a fool. Emily was the star of the show, but all I could focus on was Ryan, acting like he owned the place. I wanted to march over and confront him, to demand answers, but fear held me back. Would anyone believe me? Or would they just think I was being jealous? I clenched my fists, battling feelings of betrayal. This was bigger than Emily. It was about Ryan's sneaky role in all of it. I'd to expose him, but how? The stakes felt impossibly high. I couldn't let Ryan play me like a puppet anymore. "Why are you still here, Ryan?" I finally blurted out, my voice shaky but loud enough to draw attention. He raised an eyebrow, that stupid grin still plastered on his face. "Just enjoying the show," he replied, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Yeah? Well, it's not your show to enjoy," I shot back, feeling a surge of bravery. Emily turned to us, confused. "What's going on?" "Nothing," Ryan said, waving her off. But I could see the way his eyes flickered with annoyance. "Don't lie!" I snapped. I could feel the tension thickening in the air. "You think I don't know what you're doing?" Ryan leaned forward, his grin fading. "You should really watch your mouth." "Or what?" I challenged, adrenaline pumping through my veins. I was ready for a fight. Emily stepped between us, her face pale. "Stop it, both of you!" As I got ready to walk up to Ryan, I felt a mix of anger and determination bubbling inside me. My heart pounded in my chest. Had he been spreading the rumors about Emily and me? I couldn't shake the feeling he was up to something. It was time to confront him. I marched straight toward him, ignoring the laughter and chatter around us. My fists clenched tightly. When I finally reached Ryan, I didn't bother with small talk. "Did you know Emily was texting someone else?" I shot at him, my voice steady but filled with rage. He raised his eyebrows, acting innocent, but I spotted the guilt in his eyes. "What's that supposed to mean?" he asked, pretending to be confused. My blood boiled. I pulled out my phone and shoved the messages in his face. "Look at this." I shouted. "She's been lying to me." For a moment he looked shocked, but then he quickly covered it up. "I had no idea," he stammered. I could see he was trying to twist this around, but I wasn't buying it. "This isn't just about me and Emily anymore," I pressed, glaring at him. "You're mixed up in this too." The air between us crackled with tension. I wasn't backing down. Not now. The ground felt unsteady beneath my feet as I watched Emily laughing with other people. My heart raced, and confusion swirled in my mind. I never thought she could betray me like this. I stared at my phone, the messages glaring back at me, proving my worst fears. Each word cut deep, like daggers stabbing my chest. "Emily!" I shouted, my voice trembling. She turned, her smile fading as she saw the fury in my eyes. "What's wrong?" she asked, feigning innocence. "Don't play games. I know what you did," I snapped. The crowd paused, eyes darting between us. I felt every gaze piercing me, but I didn't care. I needed to confront her. Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" "Don't act like you don't know," I shot back, my heart pounding. "You lied to me. You were with someone else." The shock in her eyes mirrored mine, but it didn't stop the anger bubbling inside me. Did she really think she could get away with this? "I didn't mean to hurt you," she stammered, backing away slightly. My hands clenched into fists. "You didn't mean to? That's your excuse?" I was fuming. "I thought we'd something real." Then my friend Jake stepped forward. "Dude, are you okay?" "I'm not okay," I yelled. "She's been lying to me." Emily's voice dropped, her tone sharp. "You're making a scene. People will think you're crazy." "Crazy? You're the one who broke my trust," I shot back, heat rising in my cheeks. Her eyes narrowed. "Maybe you should think twice about who you trust." "Why? Because you're a liar?" I retorted. The words hung in the air, thick with tension. A knot twisted in my stomach. I couldn't believe the person I loved was capable of such deceit. My world felt shattered, and I stood there, lost and confused. I had to get away from her, from this toxic mess. "I'm done," I said, turning on my heel. "I can't do this anymore." Laughter filled the room, but I felt like I was suffocating. It was all a big joke, and I was the punchline. Emily, the woman I thought I loved, was tangled in lies, and I was caught in the middle. My heart pounded like a drum, each beat reminding me of the betrayal smothering me. Did she ever really care? I muttered to myself, biting back the anger. I glanced around. Their smiles felt like daggers. Everyone seemed so happy, so carefree, while I was drowning in doubt. I was just a pawn in Emily's game. I clenched my fists. I'd proof, solid proof of her betrayal. Confronting her felt like standing on the edge of a cliff. What if she denies it? What if she cries and begs for forgiveness? Those thoughts nagged at me, twisting my gut. "Hey, are you okay?" my friend Jake asked, noticing my silence. His voice pulled me back, but the ache in my chest remained. "Not really. I think Emily's been lying to me," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. "Man, you deserve better." "Than that," Jake said, shaking his head. "You need to talk to her." I nodded, determination flooding my veins. I'd to confront her. I wouldn't let her lies control me anymore. I stood and took a deep breath, ready to face the storm. As I walked toward Emily, my heart raced. "We need to talk," I said, my voice steady despite the chaos inside. "What's wrong?" she asked, feigning innocence. I took a step closer, my heart pounding. "I know the truth, Emily." "You can't. Keep lying to me." Her expression changed, the mask slipping. "What are you talking about?" "Cut the act. I know about him," I shouted, anger spilling out. For a moment she was silent, the laughter around us fading. The truth hung heavy in the air, and I was ready for whatever came next. I wouldn't let her manipulation break me anymore. I was done being a fool. Where do I even start with Emily's friends? They were all there, laughing and chatting like nothing was wrong. I felt like a ghost, invisible but hurting deep inside. Standing in front of them, I could feel the rumors about my relationship swirling around, and my heart was pounding. They seemed so supportive of Emily, but I couldn't shake the feeling they were part of the problem. I caught a group huddled together, sneaking whispers and glances. Were they talking about me? Did they believe the lies Emily told? Confronting rumors is tough, especially when they involve the one you love. I wanted to shout out the truth, but would they even listen? Or would they just think I was the jealous boyfriend? Every laugh felt like a knife to my chest. Their loyalty to Emily pushed me further away. I wanted to scream, "Do you even know who she is?" But fear held me back. I felt trapped in a nightmare that shouldn't exist. I reminded myself I wasn't the one in the wrong. I'd proof, real proof of her betrayal. But facing Emily's friends with that truth made me feel exposed. I knew I'd to confront the rumors soon, but the pressure felt like a heavy weight on my shoulders. Suddenly, one of Emily's friends, Sarah, turned and looked right at me. "Hey, are you okay?" she asked, her eyes searching mine. I took a deep breath. "No, I'm not. There are things you don't know about Emily." The air grew thick with tension. A few heads turned. Curiosity sparked. "What do you mean?" Another friend, Jake, chimed in, crossing his arms defensively. I stepped closer, heart racing. "She's been lying to you all, I can prove it." Gasps rippled through the group. Some looked skeptical, others intrigued. "Prove it then," Sarah challenged, her tone sharp. I nodded, ready to spill the truth. But before I could say more, Emily emerged from the crowd, a bright smile plastered on her face. "What's going on here?" she asked, glancing between us. The moment Emily walked in, I felt a fire in my chest. Whispers and rumors were buzzing around me, like annoying flies, and now, here was the girl I thought I loved, right in front of me. I couldn't let fear chain me down anymore. It was time to confront her. My heart pounded as I remembered the proof I had, messages on her phone that screamed betrayal. I'd to face the truth. I took a deep breath, ready to stand my ground. I couldn't let her twist my feelings anymore. I thought about all the times she played with my heart, keeping me in the dark. No more. I was done being a victim. I'd shine a light on the truth, no matter how much it hurt. With determination, I decided to pull her aside during the party. I wanted it to be just the two of us. I needed her to look me in the eye when I showed her what I knew. I pictured her face when she saw the messages. The truth laid out for both of us. Would she deny it? Would she try to flip the story again? I pulled Emily away from the party, my heart pounding. The loud laughter and music faded as we stepped into the heavy silence of the night. I needed a quiet place, somewhere far from the chaos, to confront her. My pulse quickened as I glanced back, half expecting someone to follow us. I couldn't let anyone see this. We ducked behind a big tree, a hidden spot that felt like a safe harbor from the eyes of the world. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm inside me. The evidence in my pocket felt like a heavy stone, pressing down on my chest. I'd to show her the truth. But the weight of what that truth meant hurt more than I thought it would. "Emily, we need to talk," I said, my voice steady but tight. She looked confused, her eyes darting around like a scared rabbit. In that moment, anger bubbled up inside me. How could she smile and laugh while I carried this secret? She'd, too, realize how serious this was. The quiet around us made my heart race faster. This wasn't just a chat. It was a showdown. I fought back tears. I couldn't let my feelings take over. I'd to find the right words to reveal everything and face the chaos that had taken over our lives. "Why are you acting like everything is fine?" I pressed, my voice sharper now. "Do you even care?" Emily's expression shifted as she hesitated. "What are you talking about?" "Don't play dumb. You know exactly what I mean." I pulled out the evidence, the truth laid bare between us. Her eyes widened, and for a moment I thought I might see guilt or fear. Instead, she stepped back, shaking her head. "This isn't what you think." My heart sank. "Then explain it to me. I need to understand how you could betray me like this." Silence hung heavy, and I felt anger and heartbreak clash inside me. I'd trusted her, and now that trust felt shattered. I was ready for a fight, ready to demand answers, but I was also scared of what I might hear next. Would she admit to her lies, or would she try to twist the truth again? I couldn't hold back any longer. I yanked out my phone, feeling a jolt of anxiety rush through me. This moment was unreal. I was about to dive into the messages that would flip my world upside down. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding like a drum. Each message was a clue, showing her betrayal. A wave of nausea hit me. I wished I could just forget what I was about to find. As I flipped through the texts, anger boiled inside me. How could she do this? Each message felt like a slap in the face, shattering the love I thought we had. The weight of her lies pressed down on me like a heavy rock. It wasn't just about the words on the screen. It was about the trust she'd stomped on. Taking a deep breath, I knew I had to confront her. I wouldn't let her walk all over me anymore. I felt like a detective, hunting for the truth among her tangled lies. I needed to show her the proof, to make her see the mess she'd made. With my heart racing, I prepared myself. I'd to expose her. This was about more than just me. It was about getting my dignity back. I was ready to face Emily, ready to demand answers. The moment had come, and there was no turning back. The truth was going to come out no matter what it took. I could almost hear my heartbeat in my ears as I dialed her number. Emily, we need to talk, now. The words were sharp, filled with the storm brewing inside me. I wasn't going to let her play me any longer. I could see the panic in Emily's eyes as I showed her the messages. Her jaw dropped. "This can't be real," she whispered, shaking her head. It was like a punch to my gut. How could she not see what was right in front of her? She held my phone, her hands shaking. "You're misunderstanding," she said, looking away from the screen. It felt like a slap. I couldn't believe she was trying to make me feel like the bad guy. I pressed on, pointing out the dates and times. "You think I'm making this up?" My voice was sharp with anger. Emily's face twisted with confusion and fear. I knew she was searching for an excuse, but nothing she said made sense. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she finally stammered. Those words hit me hard. Did she really think that would fix anything? The party buzzed with laughter, but I felt like I was suffocating in a thick fog of emotional tension. My heart raced as I scanned the room, searching for Emily, my fiancée. She was supposed to be my partner, but instead, I felt a tight knot of anger and despair building in my chest. How had it come to this? As I watched her laugh with friends, each smile felt like a dagger. I'd proof of her betrayal, but confronting her felt impossible. What if everyone thought I was just a jealous fool? This was supposed to be a happy night, yet I felt like a ghost in my own life. I took a deep breath, but it didn't help. The whispers of others echoed in my ears, their eyes filled with pity or judgment. I was trapped in this web of lies, and with every second that passed, my world felt like it was crumbling. I needed answers. I'd to confront her. "Emily!" I called, out, my voice cutting through the laughter. She turned, her smile fading as our eyes locked. "We need to talk." "Not now, Jake," she said, brushing me off. The laughter around us faded, and I could feel the weight of the room's attention on us. "No, it can't wait." I stepped closer, my pulse racing. "I know what's been going on." Her eyes widened, and for a moment, I saw fear flicker behind her smile. "What are you talking about?" "Don't play games with me," I shot back, anger bubbling. "Over. I've seen the messages. I know about your lies." The room felt electric, every gaze on us. I could almost hear the heartbeat of the party quickening, the air thick with tension. "Jake, please," she said, her voice dropping. "Let's just enjoy the night." "No!" I couldn't hold back anymore. "You've been lying to me. How could you do this?" Her face turned pale and I could see the cracks in her facade. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just a mistake." "A mistake?" I echoed, disbelief flooding my voice. "This is more than a mistake." The crowd was silent now, all eyes glued to our confrontation. I could feel their judgment, but I didn't care. I needed to know the truth, and I was done being manipulated. "Jake, let's talk about this later," she pleaded, desperation creeping into her tone. "No, I want the truth, and I want it now." I stood my ground, heart pounding. "Can you even look me in the eye and say you still love me?" She hesitated, and in that moment, I knew. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife, and as I turned away, I felt the last shred of trust snap. I was done with the games. As I stood there, demanding answers from Emily, the air crackled with tension. Suddenly, Ryan walked over, a smug grin on his face. My heart raced. He was always too close to Emily, and now he looked ready to jump in. "What are you doing here?" I shot at him, my voice sharp as a knife. Ryan's intentions were clear. He wanted to defend Emily and twist the story to his liking. "I don't think this is a good time for drama," he said, pretending to care. I wasn't fooled. His voice was laced with fake sympathy, and my anger boiled. "You don't get to tell me what to do. She's been lying to me." He chuckled, a cold, cruel sound. "Lying? Maybe you just don't get her like I do." My fists tightened. Was he really trying to turn this around? I turned back to Emily, searching for the truth in her eyes. But Ryan stepped right in front of me, blocking my view. "Stop this! You'll only hurt her," he said, but I could hear the challenge in his tone. Did he really care for her, or was this just a game to him? My heart screamed for the truth. I couldn't let Ryan's arrogance and Emily's silence trap me in this nightmare any longer. It was time to cut through the chaos and expose the truth, no matter what it took. "Enough!" I shouted, pushing past Ryan. "I deserve to know!" Emily flinched, and for a moment I saw something in her eyes. Fear, regret, or maybe both. Ryan stepped closer, his chest puffed up like a peacock. "You're making a mistake," he warned. But I didn't care. I'd to break free from their twisted web of lies. I couldn't keep quiet any longer. I marched up to Emily at the party, my heart pounding. The music blared, but all I could hear was the betrayal echoing in my head. I'd seen the messages on her phone, and it felt like a slap in the face. I thought we were close, but now I felt like a complete fool. "Why didn't you tell me?" I shouted, my voice shaking with anger. I wanted to believe we'd something special, but standing there, I realized I was wrong. Emily's face was a mix of shock and guilt. She glanced away, trying to dodge my gaze. "This isn't fair," she finally said. But I wasn't going to let her twist this around on me. "Is it Ryan? You can't deny it." I pressed, my heart racing like a drumbeat. I felt the weight of betrayal heavy on my chest. Both Emily and Ryan had messed with my feelings, and now I'd to face the painful truth. The laughter around us felt like it was mocking me. I wanted to scream, to expose everything, but fear held me back. Would everyone see me as the bad guy? Would they buy into her lies? No way. I'd to stand my ground, no more manipulation. I'd to shield myself from the hurt. In that moment, I realized this wasn't just jealousy. It was about taking back my truth and fighting against the pain. "Stop lying!" I yelled, and the room fell silent. All eyes were on us. I could feel the tension crackling in the air. Emily opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. I'd her right where I wanted her. Betrayal filled the room as I faced the truth about Ryan. I always thought he was a good friend to Emily, her buddy since childhood. But now, as I stood there, something felt off. Was he really just a friend, or was he secretly trying to break us apart? The whispers about Emily started to feel like they were aimed at me. Watching Ryan with Emily, I noticed something in his eyes. It wasn't just friendship, it was something darker. Like he wanted more than just to be her friend. My heart raced with anger. Emily should be standing by my side. But here she was, tangled in his charm. How could someone I trusted be so involved in this mess? I had my doubts, and I could feel them growing. Ryan was playing games, and I was caught in the middle. Was he trying to turn Emily against me? Did he want her for himself? My thoughts spun like a tornado, making me feel lost and hurt. Suddenly, I realized this was bigger than just me and Emily. I'd to expose Ryan for who he really was. I needed to protect my heart and reclaim the trust that felt broken. The truth about Ryan was hard to accept, but I was ready to confront it. "Emily, we need to talk," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She looked surprised. "What's wrong?" I pointed at Ryan. "It's him. He's not just your friend. He's trying to come between us." Emily frowned. "You're being paranoid. Ryan is just nice." "Nice? Or something else?" I shot back, feeling the tension rise. "You need to see what he's really doing." The air crackled with tension as Emily hesitated, caught between us. I knew I had to act fast before Ryan's grip tightened. I took a deep breath, determined to reveal the truth. "Listen," I said, "I have proof. I can show you what he's been up to." Emily's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "Just trust me. We can't let him win," I urged, feeling the urgency. While the party raged on, a storm brewed inside me. I had to escape the lies that wrapped around me like a thick fog. Emily was a master at spinning stories, and I felt trapped in her game. It was maddening. She twisted my feelings until I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I thought I knew her, but this side of her felt dark, like she was playing with my heart as if it were just a toy. Laughter echoed around me, but it only fueled my anger. Every giggle felt like a stab in the back. I gritted my teeth, trying to hold my ground. Emily's smiles were just a mask for her deceit, and I knew I'd to stop her from controlling me. The more I thought about it, the hotter my anger burned. I felt like a puppet, with her yanking the strings. "Enough!" I shouted, stepping towards her. She froze, eyes wide with surprise. That fear was my turning point. I wouldn't let her pull my strings anymore. I'd proof of her betrayal, and I was ready to use it. No more hiding in the shadows, questioning myself. I was done playing her game. "Why'd you do it, Emily?" I demanded, my voice steady but fierce. "You lied to me!" Her smile faded, replaced by a cold glare. "You wouldn't understand." "Try me," I shot back, my heart racing. "I'm done being your pawn." As the laughter faded, a chill ran through me like ice water. Trust was breaking apart, like old wood. I glanced at Emily, her smile hiding what was really going on inside. I thought we were solid, but now I felt like everything I believed was falling apart. Whispers of betrayal clawed at my heart, leaving me feeling raw and exposed. The messages I found were clear proof of her betrayal. Each word hit me like a knife, tearing apart the love I thought we had. How could the person I trusted most do this to me? I knew I'd to confront her, but I also knew this would change everything. The idea of rebuilding trust felt like a fairy tale. How could I ever feel safe with her again? I needed to heal, but the person who hurt me was right in front of me. I wanted answers, but all I got were excuses that felt hollow. The air was thick with the weight of betrayal. With every heartbeat, the pain grew heavier. I wanted to scream, to grab her and demand the truth. But I stood there, frozen, realizing that love can sometimes hide lies. I felt like our relationship was a shaky tower of cards, ready to collapse with the slightest move. Trust, once my stronghold, now felt like quicksand, ready to pull me under. "Why, Emily? Why would you do this?" I finally blurted out, my voice trembling. Her eyes widened, and for a moment, I saw fear flicker across her face. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she stammered, but her words felt empty, like a balloon losing air. I shook my head, anger bubbling up. "You didn't mean to? That's not good enough. You knew what you were doing." Emily took a step back, her expression shifting from shock to defiance. "You don't understand. I was scared." "Scared of what? Losing me? You already did that," I shot back, my heart racing. The tension crackled between us, thick and heavy. I could feel the ground shifting beneath my feet, and I knew I was at a crossroads. Would I let this deception sink me, or would I find a way to stand tall again? Only time would tell. But I knew one thing. This was just the beginning of a dark and twisting road. Heartbreak slammed into me like a speeding truck, leaving me breathless. When I faced Emily, it felt like my world exploded. She was meant to be my partner, but I stood there, with proof of her betrayal. My heart hurt, and rage erupted inside me like a volcano. How could she do this? I thought our love was real, but now I felt like the biggest fool. I knew I'd to keep my anger in check. Every mean word that slipped from my lips made me feel like I was losing myself. I didn't want to become the monster she painted me as. Instead, I focused on the hurt, using it to push me to heal. Heartbreak is tough, but I'd to move on and take back my life. As I watched Emily go from shocked to guilty, I battled with my feelings. I wanted to scream and tell her how much she'd hurt me, but I didn't want to give her the pleasure of seeing me break. I'd to be strong, I'd to rise above the mess she created. This was my moment. No more would I let her manipulation steal my happiness. I was finished being a piece in her game. I chose to turn my heartbreak into something good. I'd heal, and I'd learn to trust again, but only on my terms. "Why would you do this to us, Emily?" I demanded, my voice steady but shaking with anger. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to," she stammered. "Save it. You've hurt me enough. I won't be your puppet anymore," I shouted, feeling the fire within me ignite. The moment I turned away from Emily, I felt like I was untethered, floating in a storm of emotions. Relief washed over me, but it was quickly replaced by a heavy emptiness. Confronting her was necessary, but the betrayal cut deep, like a knife twisting in my chest. I didn't want to feel angry anymore. I needed to heal. Days passed, and I replayed our confrontation in my head. "How could you do this to me?" I'd shouted, my voice trembling. Emily's face twisted with guilt, but she didn't apologize. That look, like she was hiding something, haunted me. The trust we'd built shattered like glass. I'd to put myself first now. I grabbed a notebook and started writing. "I feel broken," I penned, tears blurring the words. It felt good to let it out. I called my friends and they rallied around me. "You deserve better," one said, her voice firm. I nodded, knowing she was right. I began setting boundaries, pushing Emily out of my life like a weed choking a garden. With each passing day, I discovered a strength I never knew I had. I remembered my worth. "I won't let her break me," I said aloud, surprising myself. It was a tough climb, but every small step towards healing felt like reclaiming a piece of me. But just when I thought I was moving on, Emily sent a message. "I miss you." My heart raced, but I didn't reply. I couldn't let her pull me back into that toxic space. I was done with manipulation and greed disguised as love. "I'm stronger than this," I whispered to the empty room. The scars of betrayal would always be there, but I was determined to rise above it. One day at a time, I promised myself, I'd rebuild my life, and this time, I'd do it for me. I thought I'd moved on, but the betrayal hit me hard like a sudden storm. Emily, the one I trusted the most, had flipped my world upside down. I couldn't believe I was questioning everything we had. It felt like being punched in the gut. "Why would you lie to me?" I shouted, my voice thick with anger. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her smile. The smile that had once made me feel safe. Now it only reminded me of the chaos she caused. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she replied, her eyes wide with feigned innocence. But I wasn't buying it anymore. The sting of her betrayal was still fresh, and I felt foolish for believing her.